3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Day Night Show Matches. I am Omega, casting with Mr. Covert Muffin for today. Observing as always will be Mr. Zero Lambda, and our first match of the day is going to be MotherMoose versus Gurthang. Best of 3 PvP. Looking like a pretty good match. I think you're excited for this one too, Mr. Covert?
Yes! Oh, I'm so stoked. This is going to be a great matchup. I love both of these players' style. So good. So good.
I do as well. It should be a pretty solid matchup. I'd say they're both around platinum.
Yes.
Skill-wise. So that's kind of what you should expect to see here. Some pretty decently solid macro. So maybe a little bit of micro flair from time to time. And of course, the lovely moment when it all goes wrong.
Yes,
But,
I can't wait. Oh, man.
That doesn't, a little less common when you hit diamond and above. But at platinum, you still have that glorious moment of confusion and chaos that occasionally. But
yeah, oh, absolutely.
Looking forward to that. Otherwise, today we also have Covert Muffin versus Loopy Lou as our next match after this one. That's a best of 5.
Yeah.
Also technically a mismatch one, but still.
It's pretty glorious. There's some fun games in there.
We'll be rounding it out with Crazy Chaos versus Leaf Cena. Tomorrow we only have one match. That's myself versus Otter, which is a best of 5. But it's a pretty good series, so I recommend you check that out. For now, though, let us focus on the present. It is Gurthang versus MotherMoose. The fun question for this week is simply, what is your luckiest win in StarCraft 2? Gurthang's answer is, I can't really remember. Initially, this was my answer as well. I didn't get one from Moose, I don't think. At least I couldn't find it. Correct me later, obviously, Moose, if you're listening. But feel free to shoot that to me, and I will still read it off at some point. But anyway, yeah. So fair enough, I say. I mean, this is a pretty chaotic game. It's easy to forget the details. And how you doing over there, Zero? I got you off guard.
I am doing...
No, he's paying attention.
Yeah, doing things, maybe. I'm like typing in the chat, maybe. Not really. I don't know. No, we're good. Audio's good. Everything's good. Video's good. Internet and the computer hasn't shaken itself off the floor yet.
Yes, Cerebral. I should be, like, here's the thing. I have a snowball mic. Snowball mics are great if you have one of those, like, arm things that holds the mic up to your face. I don't. So it's like a foot. It's like 6 inches farther from my face than it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's maxed out. There's nothing I can do about that. So I will try for you to be a little closer than I need to be.
Ooh.
Okay, let's go.
That bromance.
That's also okay. I'm ridiculously loud as well. So that can probably...
That's
okay,
alright.
I just need to imagine that I'm playing Rocket League. It helps out.
I got your guys' levels set, so you guys are about even on the stream anyway.
Awesome!
Yeah!
Great, thanks, Zero.
That pro management. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet now.
So, Dust Towers for the first map. This is it's pretty interesting for a mirror matchup.
It is. It promotes a lot of shenaniganry.
Oh, absolutely.
With all this open, empty space around the bases.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, this being Protoss versus Protoss, probably be seeing the Warp Prism variety. But first off, we have to introduce our players. At the top of the map, we have our yellow Protoss player. It is MotherMoose.
And spawning in the bottom end of the map is none other than the ever so illustrious DJ Gurthang.
But yeah, this map has some pretty interesting elements that you can do. I think probably you can also like do fun things with hiding pylons behind people's mineral lines and all that sort of jazz. But seeing as this is PvP, we'll probably see it go down the lines of either some type of Twilight tech or oracles. It's pretty much what you see all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. I like both of those options because oracles are really versatile in that they can either be used defensively for something like a stasis ward, or offensively for stasis ward as well. But then they have an attack that can take down light units really quickly, such as adepts or zealots. And then, last but not least, they also just shred worker lines. So you have multi-pronged use of the oracle that deals with all 3 forms of pressure. economic tech and army pressure. So I really love Oracle openings here in PvP.
So it looks like our yellow players decided to go for a little bit of an earlier expansion option, which should be scouted pretty quickly here by Gurthang. Gurthang has gone for a little bit more tech-oriented, kind of more normal opening, honestly, but kind of delaying his second gas a little bit. He does actually have the opportunity to do some good gateway aggression here, if he so decides to do so, having scouted this.
Yeah, that's a really good... That's a really good point, because both players are going to try and get early Warp Gate tech. However, Warp Gate takes a really long time to research. So, just purely because Gurthang got this gateway sooner, he's going to be able to get some army units out and get them across the map before MotherMoose will really be able to build the defense he needs.
The thing is, Gurthang actually has just started his Warp Gate tech. MotherMoose just put down a Cyber Core. That's the price he's paying for this particular opening he's using. His Cyber Core is maybe a minute behind, and yeah, we can see Gurthang already setting up for this. He's got a pylon down on the high ground behind the prospective 4th base here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's pretty interesting. Gurthang not really going for any sort of tech option early on. He says, I am just trying to match my opponent in terms of aggression. He's going to throw down that second gateway, which is an excellent defensive and offensive tool. And is work up some minor army units, and there it is, the proxy pylon, 3 gateways going down. You might just get your wish, Omega.
Yeah, is that pylon close enough to actually activate the warp-in field? Or is it just have the field at all has to be touching the warp gate?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. With a Nexus, I believe there can be 1 to 2 hexes spaced between the Nexi and the pylon, but with a gateway, it's just anywhere in the pylon field.
Okay, that makes sense. That's actually something I was confused about for pretty much since this game came out. 'Cause sometimes it would happen, sometimes it wouldn't, and I was like, what is it? Governing rule here? But mystery solved.
Yeah. This is actually also really scary looking at MotherMoose's base. We see 2 gateways and a TC tech going down, but all of that is just stapled onto a single pylon. If Gurthang hits this hard, oh my god, and the robo facility... Oh no, the robo facility has a pylon here. Oh, okay. But yeah, that can be really scary with the Artosis.
Yeah, hopefully he'll throw another one down there pretty soon. I think this field will, just barely doesn't touch that gateway, which is too bad. But on the other end of things, we have Gurthang. As far as I've always known him, if you push him into a corner, he tends to want to go more for the macro-oriented stuff. That's what he practices for most of the time. But, yeah, we might see him at least try to pressure the front, but I think it's going to be more oriented toward trying to get a third up than it is necessarily killing his opponent. Because this is steadily turning into a hardened target that is going to be very hard to do anything to.
Yeah, that's a really good point, especially because he opened up with this early Sentry. Sentry's an excellent defensive tool, but holy early 3rd Batman. MotherMoose is getting real ballsy. Oh, this is extremely vulnerable.
Yeah, this is going to be very difficult to hold. He's got a lot of energy on the Mothership Core, and if he had 2 more pylons up here, maybe he could do it if an attack were to come. But it's still pretty minimal, pretty light defenses. Yeah, we can even see that Gurthang. Yeah, he's opted more for. All right, the scouting illusion Colossus. I've done this before. Give your opponent a minor heart attack when it shows up to his base, but nah, it doesn't work that way. Now, if you want to give him a minor heart attack, you create an Oracle and run it over their base. And then they're like, oh, that's not real. Never mind.
Then you see the huge flood of stalkers coming out from it. You churn out 2 to 3 immortals.
So Moose, I hate to interrupt, but Moose actually has scouted this proxy gateway now. So that's unfortunately going to probably shut that option down, unless he sees this illusion and tries to kill it. No.
Wow, those stalkers just barely able to get small little pot shots, but it's totally okay if Gurthang loses this gateway and pylon purely because he has a warp prism out, which will have the same warp-in effects. Warp prisms warp in the same speed as a pylon equipped with a gateway. So Gurthang is totally okay if he loses this pylon, but if he doesn't scout this 3rd, this could really spell a lot of trouble in about 3 minutes for Gurthang. Wow, Moose also going for double upgrades. Oh my goodness.
So rather unfortunately, the scouting Colossi faded out just before it saw the Nexus. It actually walked right up to it.
Oh, no. Oh, that's so unfortunate.
And, yeah, Admittedly, I mean, I love the scouting Colossus, but unless you happen to be on a tiny map, you do need to follow it up with something else. It just doesn't really do anything. If you're lucky, it walks into the army and takes a couple extra shots. But, okay, Disruptor with Stalkers moving out right now. I think Moose is trying to do a little too much, maybe.
Oh, yeah, this is going to be really great for Gurthang, especially with this Immortal out. If these Stalkers move up the ramp, he's going to lose every single one of them. Unless he does really nice Blink Micro.
It's that Disruptor, though. Like,
totally missed the Blink.
Let's see who this wins the game for now. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't think it's going to end right here. But this is interesting. He's got an Observer in position, giving him a lot of vision up there. But hey, he can even see that. Here comes the bomb. Gurthang's not watching and loses half of his army in one shot. Brutal stuff. And Photon Overcharge here might be able to buy him some time. We'll see if he attacks into it. Second Immortal pops out. Oh, this is actually a ridiculous amount of damage. Well,
yeah, this is an excellent decision from Moose going back. Oh, the Disruptor is so
Disruptor. Much like Second Breakfast. Highly unexpected. There it comes. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Nails both of the Immortal shots. Actually, this is looking next fatal. Yeah, if he lost a Mothership Core there, I think he'd be guaranteed dead. But not quite yet.
Oh man, yeah, this is really rough too because Moose currently Gurthang has a +1 upgrade advantage, but +1 is about to finish for Moose with the Stalker count, with the Zealot count. With the upgrade count, he's absolutely going to take a huge advantage here. But also the best part about this for Moose is he doesn't necessarily need to move up the ramp. Why? Well, if we look back home, there is a third base that is currently getting pressured. Moose is forced to warp in a bunch of Stalkers at home to deal with this.
It helps. Good Blink Micro here at the front by Moose is keeping all the Stalkers alive, and now he's hitting things while they're warping in, which is never a great time for the Protoss. Okay, shot coming out here. Actually does damage buildings, in case you've ever wondered. And, you know, I gotta say, it really comes down to that initial engagement, that excellent Disruptor shot. That pretty much was pretty clear. It was clear Gurthang didn't really realize there was a force right outside his base, and he was not watching his army. So when that shot came in, no warning, takes out a giant number of units.
Yeah, that's really tough. Also, Gurthang's gateway count was only at 4 gateways, and he had a bunch of money in the bank. That's a great Disruptor shot. If he's able to get this warping working for him, he's absolutely going to be able to clean up the Stalkers.
He got a money Disruptor shot, taking out three Stalkers right there. And yeah, he's going to push this out. I think part of this is just Moose is not really spending his money. He's got an incredible amount of resources now. Should have probably like a 40 supply lead. But he's just not getting anything out on the field.
Oh yeah, excellent warping too by Gurthang at the natural. He's completely shut down mining at the natural. All those extra probes from Moose are actually all piled on in the main. Only 4 mineral patches, which means these 21 probes are mining near to nothing. So Gurthang's actually A-okay on economy compared to his opponent right now.
He's hung in there, come back, and now I think he's had a little bit of an advantage. He does need to secure this third. Moose can recover from this much quicker than he...
Yes!
Oh! Yes! Boom! Nice shot. That's exactly what he needed.
Oh, man.
Gonna push out. No, not
yet. Here comes the Disruptor from Moose, though.
Nope. Doesn't hit anything. Does lose it to the Zealots. And yeah, there's some units down here, but they're like, okay, forget this. This isn't gonna work. So they're heading home. And it looks like we will see Blue live to fight another day.
Wow. Really subtle backdoor aggression from Gurthang was extremely effective, was able to force his opponent to warp in back at home and pull workers from workers line. Moose still hasn't returned workers to his natural. One thing Moose does have going for him, though, is he is very close to finishing up with 2-2. Should finish in under a minute. Whereas Gurthang is just now starting +2 ground weapons. Moose is going to have a huge advantage with that +2 armor compared to Gurthang's +0 armor.
About the only thing that I don't see Moose doing that I really like right now is he's a little bit low. He's still sitting on like 2 bases worth of workers, and he's not doing anything to fix that. I don't see any restarting of the pro production, which is fine for now, but he's got the resources for it. He really, if he turns that up a little bit, then yeah, I think I could see him definitely taking off, getting a very large army on top of his upgrade lead. Be good to go. But you know, it's so far it really has come down to just these Disruptor shots. Attempted Zealot backdoor is not going to do anything.
Oh yeah, this is really excellent too from Gurthang. He's just throwing a few minerals away at his opponent and forcing his opponent into nice disruptor shot from Moose. Forcing his opponent to stay at home. He has to defend this War Prism, otherwise it's going to continue to shut down his economy. Buying the time Gurthang needs to reestablish his gateway force and set up this third.
Okay. I was going to say, he did lose about 1,200 minerals just now.
Yeah.
That was, But yeah, let's hope the time is worth it. Moose is starting to climb ahead. He's up about 14, 15, almost 20 supply. Still has his forward aggressive positioned warp gate. Some vision on the map. Doesn't have any vision over the center of the map though, so there's still room here for Gurthang to try some interesting things if he so desires. But he's gotten his third, which is the key point.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And Moose, nice positioning here, being able to aptly defend his fourth. He was able to kill off that War Prism, so he knows that there cannot be continued War Prism aggression. So much so that Gurthang's actually just going to throw 4 Zealots at this. I'm not too sure how I feel about this. He has, like you mentioned, already thrown a lot of minerals away without actually doing any damage. One of the most powerful forms of aggression is non-committal aggression. But if you overcommit like this, you're actually losing tons and tons of money, further increasing the gap between you and your opponent in terms of army supply.
That it is indeed. So Gurthang's still sitting in +2 territory while his opponent has 2/2. Both of them now researching +3 weapons and adding immortals into the mix. Gurthang now realizing that he needs a second forge, plopping that down. We have another War Prism out in the map, loaded up with what appears to be some Zealots. Going for the main base. There's some Stalkers actually on patrol move right there, so that's not going to turn out very well for them. Oh, okay, but there's no focus attack onto the War Prism. Oh, blinking forward, trying to hit it, but they've got 3 Zealots behind them. Of course, Moose is sitting in the center of the map while this is going on. Both players trying to control as best they can. Good warp in. So, yeah, this is a nice little move here by MotherMoose. Just a little bit quicker reaction speed. He would have actually stopped this from doing any damage at all. It's a good setup. Unfortunately, the Zealots are still alive.
Wow, yeah, this is a great form of aggression. Gurthang has been doing this really well all game, but now he has to face his doom as he goes against this huge mass of Stalkers and 3 Disruptor shots.
No, army's too far back. They don't do anything. And now we're in a pretty weird situation. Moose is actually behind by 19 with workers, but he does have a second mining base, whereas Gurthang is pretty much just on 1 base now. Economically still in a good shape for Moose, other than attacking his own units almost, but a little scary there.
Yeah, Gurthang also has 4K gas in the bank. I would love to see just a ton of Archons. I'm like, what the field? What the units? Oh, the Disruptor shot was critical. Oh, my goodness.
Very good shot. A lot of Stalkers kind of bite it right there. I think he got a Disruptor as well.
Wow. That is a huge shot.
Gurthang is now ahead by 40 supply. Most of that Zealots, to be fair, but still. It's pretty scary stuff, especially the charge. Oh my gosh.
Wow, nice Disruptor shot from MotherMoose, but he actually didn't pick up much of Gurthang's army because, as you said, they were all Zealots. Zealots an excellent choice to go against this mass Disruptor style of Moose. Why? Because Zealots hug his opponent's Stalkers. Yeah. So if he's going to try and clean them up with this Disruptor AoE, he's going to end up killing his own units in the process.
Yeah, Disruptors are not really great for retreating situations most of the time, unless you're dealing with units that are ranged. You wouldn't want to use them against Zerg.
Oh
that would be a good way to kill your own units. And yeah, there's just too much firepower. All these Zealots streaming in. This army was largely tailored to deal with Stalkers, and couldn't handle it. That's GG.
Oh! With the clutch Disruptor shot clearing up a very large number of Stalkers from his opponent, and the masked Zealot strategies, Gurthang looks to be taking game number 1.
I think. I mean, we're still here. Game's still going. Okay, he's gonna have a conversation. Well, never mind. I was gonna say, well, if they're gonna talk for a bit, that's fine. We'll just watch him kill some buildings. But
excellent. And this is like the best part about this, right? Both players are really well mannered to each other and like being like, oh man, that was really hard to play against. Like that was a great strategy. Both players showing great etiquette. I really, really enjoy watching these guys play.
It's a really solid game. I still think at the beginning though, Moose probably could have had that if I don't know what happened. He just built up so many resources and wasn't using them. But it's such a lead.
Yeah.
I think that backdoor attack just kind of messed with his ability to focus.
Yeah, absolutely. I have to agree with you 100%. Dealing with split aggression is one of the most difficult styles to play against because you both have to dedicate your APM to not only controlling your units and splitting up your army, but you also have to make really difficult in-game decisions. And that's sort of the big drainer of your efficient actions per minute. Absolutely. Really nice play from Gurthang to take advantage of that.
Would you say that's kind of like the dividing element between, like why basic, not dividing element, like kind of the reason why you don't want to do things like spam click too much? It just makes situations like that so much more difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if you spend even an extra couple of seconds by spam clicking on a location, that could be controlling another army back home, setting up the target fire, using that blink micro. MotherMoose also went for a very APM heavy army. Mass stalkers, disruptors. Having to control both the blink stalkers and the disruptors was extremely difficult, whereas Gurthang just had the zealot charge, 1A to win, right? You just set them in, they surround the enemies, and they just deal tons of damage. So good. I love charge lots.
Okay. Well, if you give me a quick moment for a bio break here, and
all right,
get on to game 2.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh my goodness, how was your week, Zero?
That's about it. Yeah, it's been a long week. They still haven't found anybody to replace that other guy, so it's pretty rough going. Yeah, once I lose my part-time buddy at about around o'clock, whew.
It's like playing in an Archon mode.
Well,
without another person.
I take usually on a normal, pretty steady day. I take about 22 calls or so.
Wow.
22 calls between people asking about checks they got from the newspaper to people needing help with their computers, things updated, people's computers not working, iPhones not working, that sort of thing.
Yeah. That's a lot, though. That's like wrapping your head around that many technical problems. I mean, I'm sure there are patterns, right? That might come up, but
yeah,
still.
I mean, there a lot of the stuff is stuff we've seen before, but a lot of them are long calls. I'll be on the phone for 20 minutes to a half an hour at a time, sometimes just fixing their problem.
Okay.
I know I can fix it, it just takes a while.
Yeah.
So, half hour, you're going from call to call to call, so.
Yeah, that's why I think we need to unlock the power of telepathy, so we can just automatically transfer call instead of having to work through.
I think I would insult people really often if I had that power.
Or holograms that could physically manifest, so I could pick up their computer and slap them in the face, and then take it and fix it. I think that would make my quality of life much better.
Just hologram appear over their shoulder. Okay, restart your computer, and they're like, "Can't lie, fine."
I know. Oh man, you would be surprised by the number of people that call me for help, and I say, "Hey, okay, so have you restarted recently?" And they go, "Yeah, okay, all right, yeah, I did." All right, got a second? I can remote in here, maybe take a look around. The first thing I check, I pull up the task manager and I check the uptime, and it's like 4 weeks.
Oh my god!
It's like, so you're telling me you have 4 gig of RAM, you have 4 spreadsheets open, one of them is a total gigabyte on your hard drive.
Jeez.
And you're gonna try and lie to me and tell me that you restarted your machine, but the uptime says it's been up for 4 weeks consecutively. Restart your fucking computer. Come on. And naturally, the problem goes away. Huh, maybe there's something clogging up your RAM. I wonder what it could be. Oh boy. You know, I already have stories. I've only been there 4 months. It's pretty amazing.
Excellent. Oh, good.
Okay, to answer Actea's question, no. If you nuke the hard drive on your computer to reinstall Windows, that does not void the warranty. Physically modifying the hard drive will void your warranty.
If you get suspicious that the external hard drive you were sent is actually just a flash drive taped to the inside of a box, and you check, you might void the warranty. You also may gain the ability to sue someone at that point.
There is that, yeah.
That has, by the way, I'm not making that up, that has happened. Not to me, but I've seen the pictures on the internet, on the Immigrant. It's just like, yeah, I heard this. This is what was inside it. And I was like, really?
Joe in the chat saying the truth there. Most people think restarting their computer means turning the monitor off and on again.
That's just depressing.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand.
Okay, one more story before we start here, actually. Okay. I got a call from a guy who was asking how to get into his employee self-service portal from home. So, okay, all right, that's fine. He sounded like he wasn't very technologically, up and up. So, okay, so I was walking him through it step by step, and I had to help him clear his cache out. I couldn't remote into his machine, so I had to talk him through it. So I asked him what browser he uses. He turns around and shouts down the stairs. He yells at his wife and asks her what browser they use.
Oh my god.
I heard her muffled from the background. He turns around, gets back on the phone, and I shit you not, he says Yahoo. Or yeah. Yeah.
So it's just one of the Internet Explorer shells.
Yes.
That's fun.
It's amazing.
Oh no.
So yeah, there you go. 20 calls of that a day. Without a partner to manage it after 1 o'clock is tricky, but I can do it, and my boss is very impressed. So there's that.
Boom. There you go.
Yay. You're like, oh, so this is what someone who takes the job seriously looks like. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So I think we should be good now. Lobby's loaded up, so whenever you guys are set.
All right.
Tweet.
Okay, well, we're back here for game 2 now. Honestly, it looks pretty even. I'm hesitant to make any predictions.
Yeah.
This game could go either way. Gurthang definitely has a nice hold on like the Protoss Terran-ish style of play there, though.
Yeah, I love that.
Which, it's cool, man. I love that Legacy of the Void is allowing for this.
Yeah, yeah. Especially because, like, it was interesting, right? Heart of the Swarm, gas was sort of the limiting agent, right? Think about Zerg, right? You need to be on 6 gas geysers to constantly churn out Mutalisks and maintain Ling Baneling style because of gas. You need the 6 gas geysers. But in Legacy, it seems like minerals are the problem, right? Gurthang was floating 4,000 gas that game. I mean, yes, he was going Zealots, but holy crap. Like, just gas is just no longer a problem. Yeah. I love that.
It's more just of a, are you keeping up with your proper gas timings as you take your second base? I think it's a thing you gotta learn. But you're right, in these longer games, sometimes minerals can be the bigger problem.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Especially because, like, at the 8-minute mark, right? That's when minerals start wearing out in the main base. It's like, oh my goodness, I have to start thinking about taking a third by the 8-minute mark. That's crazy. And Moose just, like, snuck out at third at 4 minutes. Oh my goodness, that was so epic. Oh, yeah, man, I can't wait to see what happens.
That was a pretty powerful play given his opponent, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
So, we're now on Prion Terrace. It's a map that I frankly don't play on very much, but it's here. Bottom of the map, we have our yellow Protoss player. It is MotherMoose.
Yeah! And spawning in the top left corner, up 1-0. Let's see if he can clinch out this best-of-3 series by winning game number 2. It is none other than DayJ's Gurthang.
Now, I'm going to offer a little context for that. The reason I don't pick this map is because Zerg exists. This is the only map I veto, and it's because I don't really have a good answer to the double gold thing. I just can't.
Oh, man.
I can't really. Other than just attacking them really fast.
Yeah.
Which works to a degree, but
yeah,
they kind of expect it, so.
Whoa, what is Gurthang doing here with this?
But yeah, if you look closely at the natural, you'll notice it's not blue. Those are gold minerals on the natural.
Yes, yeah, that is a very
This map is nuts.
Yeah, I actually like this change because, like, Terran players is like, well, what do you do if the Terran just takes the fast third, right, with a command center and then holds it off with a single siege tank and Liberator? It's like,
I actually
oh
think
my goodness.
Having this here instead of on the third, now that I'm looking at it, I've never seen this version of the map before. This must be new for this season.
Yes, yes
so,
it is.
Okay, yeah, this is much better than the way it was before because now everyone gets access to the space. As Protoss, you kind of felt like, well, if I take that, I die. But if he takes that, he kills me.
Oh yeah, this is really interesting. A very, very early sort of hidden pylon. It'll be very interesting to see what Gurthang's going to use this for. Is he going to hide a Dark Shrine? Is he going to proxy a Stargate away so his opponent can't scout it early on? Can't wait to see what tech choice Gurthang is going to go down with this.
Yeah. But yeah, and actually coming to think of it, neither player really varying their build that much, given the fact that this is a gold base. We're probably going to see an upsurge in minerals that's a little bit insane.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It looks like Gurthang is actually really delaying his Nexus Heavy to get this Stargate out as early as possible. This is going to work beautifully unless MotherMoose is able to get up some really fast defense. Look at this, MotherMoose going for an early Adept. This is scary. This is going to be very scary.
I was even going to point on top of that just the slight supply block right there, delaying this unit. In theory, if he knew this was coming, he could actually have 2 Stalkers up. But yeah, he's just not going to have any anti-air at all.
Oh, man.
So this is probably going to be really devastating. Now, the fact that there's a gold base here and he's got a Nexus, though, it's going to enable him to recover, presuming he can stabilize. But I'm concerned he can kill the Oracles at all.
Cancel the probe! No, he's not going to cancel it! Oh, he's supply blocked!
No!
Oh,
he's shooting it. There we go.
Oh, okay. Whew.
Now he's getting the Oracle. That's scary right there.
Yeah, this is absolutely terrifying. MotherMoose also. No
okay, by the way, Moose is about to walk into his base with 2.
2 Adepts, yeah.
Which, I mean, presuming he's paying attention. I tried to do this in a game recently, and I accidentally double-clicked on all of my probes and started moving them and had to fix them, and by the time I got back to the Adepts, they were dead. I was just like, well, it happens, right? What do you do? Yeah, this is pretty frustrating. He's going to get a decent amount of damage in with this. Meanwhile, we have a hidden pylon in an Oracle out. The Oracle, yeah, he's too busy focusing on the defense at home to be able to maneuver the Oracle in.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, unfortunately, this Oracle was first delayed by supply block and delayed by just not controlling it. And so this Oracle could have come out a lot sooner, but still, MotherMoose very scantily clad anti-air. Not splitting up his Stalkers and Mothership Core is going to be extremely useful. And a proxy pylon in the main Omega. Oh my goodness, this is going to be huge.
He can use this to distract the Stalkers while the Oracle goes to town. This is pretty great. But, let's see. The Mothership Core is kind of out of position. He's not going to be able to defend the main with anything other than the Stalkers. And, yep, 3 workers already dead. Gonna probably get a few more here, wasting a little bit of energy on attacking the Assimilator. Still has more damage going out on probes. 7 kills so far.
Ooh, I love this target fire on the Stalkers!
But yeah, he's got this here, so he's gonna need to maneuver. No! The Oracle's going closer to its demise! It's dead!
Oh man, and a really nice Immortal coming out from Moose. This is absolutely going to get cleaned up.
Solid, he got the Mothership Core. Alright.
Oh, that's so good.
And yeah, that pylon's dead. Nothing else is gonna come from that.
Yeah.
But he does have looks like Void Rays coming out now. Still has the rally point set to Moose's base. Might not want to do that. But, but, okay, a little bit oversaturated now on the gold base, which makes sense. He moved a number of his workers away. But yeah, having this gold already secured, Moose's income is not harmed, really at all, relative to how he would be in a normal match. He's actually kind of far ahead now. But
absolutely.
Having secured one of these now as well, going for the farther base, trying to keep his opponent in the dark since this Adept is watching the natural.
Yeah, this is going to be
suspicious.
Yeah, this is going to be really scary for Moose, right? Because he's not going to see any base coming up. And in fact, if Gurthang has a pylon at this nexus, so he's going to be able to warp in. Getting a gateway there, too. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I love this Void Ray. I love these Stalkers. I love these Zealots. These are going to work so well against the Stalker and Immortal-centric army. And Moose is actually trying to take to the defensive. I'm not sure how I feel, especially with the second Void Ray going to pop out. It's going to be really difficult for Moose to be able to do anything.
Really here, he's making an assumption. He assumes his opponent's still on one base and doesn't have the power to rebuild his army. He's wrong, though. With that Void Ray there just isn't enough.
Oh,
here,
man.
Metamortal is good. It's not getting out here. He's going to try and focus it down. Might be a little late here. Here comes the second Void Ray.
Oh. Oh, no. Oh, Moose is overcommitting, and he's going to be able to pick up a Void Ray, but losing his entire Gateway and Immortal Force. This is extremely devastating for Moose, where he thought he had a huge advantage with being able to push out. Now he's actually slightly behind. He is getting up 4 Stalkers and a Phoenix. Excellent play, but with no Mothership Core with that army, it was just extremely vulnerable to that excellent counter-aggression by Gurthang. And now Gurthang moving out with 5 Zealots and a Stalker. Unfortunately, Charge is still over a minute away, but Gurthang's going to be able to establish this third as long as he doesn't overcommit here.
I would be kind of a big fan of some Zealot Warp-ins for Moose at the moment. He doesn't need a lot, but he does need to prevent... this ground force supporting this Void Ray is largely melee-based. If he can just hold that back, he can pick off the Mothership Core and the Void Ray pretty easily.
Oh yeah, let's see if Moose is going to cancel or try and defend this. Oh, he cancels. Oh, yeah.
Like, nope, forget that idea.
Gurthang setting up an excellent position, too, for a proxy pylon. The only way Moose is going to be able to scout this proxy pylon is if he flies a Phoenix over. And this is actually kind of scary. Gurthang has no supporting Stalkers with this Void Ray. If Moose is able to get up another Phoenix, enough Phoenixes, this is actually going to be extremely devastating for the tech from Gurthang.
This is a very strange interaction that we actually don't see that often in StarCraft 2. Even going as far back to Wings, but Phoenixes actually have a pretty nice edge on Void Rays.
Yeah, they do.
They do not take bonus damage from them since they are light armored. And they have a decent amount of health, so that that beam doesn't go through them very easily.
Oh, Gurthang, you need to recall.
Oh boy, he's gonna do it. He spent the energy on the time warp.
Oh, but Zealot Charge! Zealot Charge is so strong!
Yeah, he's got, again, there's just no ground supporting army here.
Yeah!
A few Zealots would have been enough, I think, to really just hold that back, but...
Wow. With the Immortal... Yeah, with the Immortal Stalker-centric army coming out of Moose, Gurthang is exploiting this beautifully, and now he's going to pick off the Mothership Core again, keep defensive structure, and take down the pylons while focusing down these Phoenixes. And these Phoenixes, now out of energy, they're not going to really be able to do anything to assist Moose. Moose losing so many workers, and Gurthang with his natural, his third, established, going completely uncontested. This is an amazing position for Gurthang, even if Moose is somehow able to hold off this Dune push.
You know, I have to admit, going for maybe a little Cloak and Dagger right there might have been good. Just taking the Phoenixes, run them straight over the Stalkers, and then run them at Gurthang's base to try and freak him out. Might have been the only way out of this situation. Like, just make him be like, oh no, I have to go back and defend, and then maybe the only thing you have to deal with is Zealots while Stalkers chase a bunch of Phoenixes with no energy. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm really stretching. This is like near on unrecoverable, but it's always possible, man. You can find it.
Oh yeah, never give up.
GG.
Oh, GG. Gurthang takes the series 2-0. Beautiful backdoor aggression in game 1, even though he had low army supply compared to his opponent. Able to come back and win game 1, and then just beautiful, beautiful tech and aggression in game 2 to close out the series.
All right. Well, very solid games. I mean, the score ends up being 2-0 for Gurthang. A lot closer than it looked, though, both those games. That was pretty... like, imagine if Moose doesn't walk out, takes a base, doesn't attack his opponent, scouts that he has that, builds the Phoenixes, and then he just has all the units from before.
Oh, yeah.
Plus the Phoenixes. Yeah, that's not, like... That's a very different game right there. But... unfortunately not how it went down for MotherMoose. So, our next series, once again, is Covert Muffin versus Loopy Loo.
Whoop, whoop.
Obviously, we're not going to ask Muffin to cast his own game.
Darn!
I mean, not even if you want to. I think it's too awkward. We'll just
No,
not do
I'm
that.
just kidding. Yeah, no, absolutely.
You don't have the actor narrate his own actions while the movie is going on. You have him give his commentary talking about setting up the scene. He doesn't talk about what he's doing, per se.
Nicolas Cage, a biographic entry casted and directed by Nicolas Cage.
No.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, I'm ruining everything.
That's okay. We'll just recreate the party.
God.
Don't worry about it.
And then I can.
Oh, invited him back.
That's okay. There we go. I'll leave the party. There we go. Nailed it.
You invited me. You invited me to your own party and then left, and then I had to invite Omega anyway.
Yeah, because I left. Look, the action went to my finger as you were being invited, and I was like, well, fuck. Okay.
You meant to kick me from party, accidentally promoted me to party leader. I meant to promote you to party leader and accidentally kicked you from the party.
Oh my god.
Alright guys, anyways, thanks for letting me cast. I am super excited to see you guys cast my next match.
Oh yeah, excited to see your plays.
Alright, see you guys.
See you in chat.
See ya.
Alright, so I'm gonna take 1 minute to go AFK here, guys. We will be back with you. Yeah,
we'll wanted a 5-minute break.
Yep, I think that's a good idea. Be back in a few minutes here.
Okie dokie.
We'll stay up. Joy.
You guys still able to hear me? Find out in a second here. Okay. This one. Oh man. Yeah, that's exactly what it turns into, Actea. I tried it once when I created my YouTube channel when I was in college. I even tried to not refer to myself as myself. Like, refer to my ID as Raven, and I just couldn't make it. It was Raven at the time. I wasn't able to make that a consistent thing. Like, I kept accidentally be like, well, I was going to, and like, crap, I can't say that. It hasn't happened yet. And I was just like, oh, this is stupid. So, you can't, like, cast it like a normal game. You can do commentary for your own games. It just has to be, like, different than that. More of an edited style thing where you're like, well, okay, look at this. And when I see this, then I do this. Kind of like what Apollo does for his like tutorial series. That works, but you can't do standard casting. Not at all. If anything else, it feels awful as the caster. Whether or not it's entertaining is beside the point. But it's not fun. Covert has an amazing story that I'm going to read for his game, by the way. No spoilers. So I'm not going to talk about it any further, but... yeah. Loopy Loo doesn't have a story. But he does have a story. Depends entirely on how you look at that statement, and the fact that we have 5 games. Unless you guys did the consolation thing. So, we will see. I have no information. I'll give you I'll give you a little preview for mine. I actually have a couple different ones. One of them, you know what? This is not the one I'm going to submit, so I'll tell you about this one because it was great. But this is a so this is kind of similar to Loopy's answer, actually, but with more details. I was practicing with Kaysura before he started going back to school, and now he's like on a weird schedule, so I'm not really able to play with him as much. But at the time, what we would do is I would play like a Protoss game, and then we would just kind of dick around and do whatever. And I played a Protoss game where he randomed as Terran, and he decided to go for mass Ravens. And it was terrifying as all get out to deal with, except there's a few nerfs to Ravens that we discovered. One of them is the duration of the turrets. You can't use them to lock down an area for 5 minutes anymore. They go away real fast. So that bought me a couple interesting attacks on it. But more importantly, what happened, we were playing on Dusk Towers, those gold bases in the middle of the map. And he started building planetaries everywhere inside his base. So after a while, I was like, I'm not going to break this. That's fine. I just want mass stalkers with blink. And every time he tried... Now, I had like a couple units on the outside of his base. Anytime he tried to expand, I would just run up and kill the base and run away. I couldn't do anything to his army. And it was just this long, drawn-out slugfest until eventually... Because he was like running up to my army and throwing seeker missiles on it, and I had to deal with this blink stuff. That's when I learned, for example, blinking one unit out of the way causes the secret missile to still hit the spot anyway, and lost half my stalkers. That was a crazy kind of panic moment. But, kind of learning how to do that. And that was pretty much the whole game, was just kind of getting better at blink micro. And we had a long, drawn-out stalemate. I took the other gold. He couldn't really stop me from expanding and getting more minerals. But eventually I was able to pick off his ravens, and he just had no money. And he's like, well, GG. And I'm like, what? Because I had no concept that I was even ahead. It did not feel like that at all, and then the game just ended. But yeah, there's little things you can do. Like, you blink the whole army. It's very simple. That's how you deal with it. It's the secret missile ends up hitting the ground, and nothing gets damaged. If you're really good, you can blink them in sections and kind of split them the way you would Marines around Balance. But if you do that, you might be able to get a few shots on Ravens or other units that are nearby without having to completely run. Are these noises intentional? Making noises? It's supposed to be coming from Zero's mic. Maybe he's not muted on the stream end. Well, I can't help you guys. I have no idea what's happening. Unless Zero is like testing something new. Maybe he's building a soundboard. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I do have a different story for tomorrow. It's super loud. Does it sound like a beep? It's probably feedback. I wonder why I'm not hearing it. It must be coming from like his computer rather than his mic then. I'm going to message him. It's all the computer noises from Star Trek at once. It's possible he might be away from the computer at the moment. His grandmother recently had shoulder surgery, and she's been having problems with keeping her balance and falling over. So it's possible that he may have had to get up to deal with that. So unfortunately, I can't help you with the sounds, and you just kind of have to deal with it. Or mute. Muting's fine. The noises have apparently stopped. Typing that into the Discord. Right, well, anything else of interest? Like I said, my actual craziest game story comes from Wings of Liberty, I think. Or was it Heart of the Swarm? It was a while ago. No, it wasn't that. Wow, it was a Legacy of the Void game. I'm forgetting this mostly just because I think the only reason I won it was because it was a Legacy of the Void match. But yeah, I can't go into details. I have to write that down for later. Go versus Wings, but I haven't read yours yet, so we keep that to ourselves. But I have a few from before. Technically, oh yeah, there's the one. Oh, is that crazier? That is crazier. Cool. I'll tell you about the Legacy of the Void one then, because I'm gonna use this. My craziest game story, just as a quick preview for tomorrow, will be coming from my first 5 games. First 5 placement matches that I played back in Wings of Liberty. They're actually on YouTube somewhere. So this is something you can go look up. But one of those games was pretty great. On the other hand, Legacy of the Void one was very simple. I had been playing kind of close to release, and close to release, the MMR was a bit weird because a bunch of really good players came back after not playing, so they were all in silver and gold. So I was playing against this one guy who was clearly way better than me, way better macro. He was playing Zerg. However, his ability to attack my base wasn't very good. Just put it that way. He could get to my base with a large ball of roaches and hydras, but he wasn't able to make it work. I basically just built disruptors, and I kept sending them one by one into his army, and I couldn't run over to his side of the map and kill him either. It was like 4 or 5 long drawn out just brawls with each other, and I won one of them, I guess, pretty handily, and he just never was gaining much of an advantage after that, and he got frustrated and left. I remember when the game was over, I was just sitting there going, what happened? Did I win? Why did I win? And then I looked at the replay, and I was just kind of confused for a while. Because I think I had lost something like 70% of my Zerg games as Protoss. So this was not an experience. That was not a feeling I was used to having with the closer games. But no. The one from the placement matches in Wings of Liberty, not on the Novice League, but placement matches in the actual game. Those were special. Oh my god. I actually won 2 and 3. I did not lose all of them, which is kind of a miracle in and of itself. But yeah, Orbital, what was it called? Oh, something station. It had like a big long loop, and then you could fly a real short flight distance. Kind of similar to one of the maps that was in the map pool last month. Last season. But it was a bit different. It was not as good. The recent map was much better. Yeah. Sorry I'm yawning. I actually have a little bit of a cold that I am trying to hold off at the moment. Hence the reason I'm been drinking lots of liquids and just kind of staying focused. Hopefully my voice will be into it. It was having problems last night. Won't give out on me. We will see. Thank you. So what about any of you guys who aren't playing? You guys have any crazy game stories? StarCraft? Anything that you remember? Feel free to type them in. We'll talk about them. Meantime, I'm going to check to see if I have any games I'm actually looking forward to that are coming out soon. I want to say that there's a couple that I was really into. Super Hot came out. That game looks really cool. If you don't know what that is, you know how bullet time something is in most shooters is something you hit a button and the whole world slows down? Well, imagine it was the opposite. Every time, like, the world was always slow, and it only speeds up when you move.
Okay. Hello.
Back.
So, computer's making noises, huh?
It was, apparently, and stopped.
Well, it's a good thing it stopped, because that's kind of obnoxious.
Yeah, I didn't hear any of it, so it must have been coming from, like, the, you know...
I don't know, my browser isn't open. Shouldn't be playing anything. Unless Twitter is being obnoxious, but...
Yeah, no one was saying it sounded like a Facebook post message or anything. They said it sounded like all the noises from Star Trek simultaneously.
Huh. Interesting.
Like all the interface boops and beeps.
Nice. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am back. Get the show on the road here. Count us down, Mr. Omieg. We got the title updated too for your purposes, right?
Let me...
You want me to cycle the stream?
Do that. Hold up, it's not updated yet. Scroll. Don't need to add anything. Update. That should do it. Somebody refresh in the chat and let me know if it says Covert Muffin versus Loopy Loo now.
Yep, then once we find out it's updated, we'll cycle the stream. Should be good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I looked at my... I felt my watch vibrate. It was you, and I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, I was trying... Well, normally I wouldn't have said anything, but since your computer was displaying strange behavior before, I was like, I should probably tell him. It's doing anything it should be doing.
Interesting. Okay, I'm gonna cycle